Hi, hello. Good morning, students. I hope all of you watching the videos and listening the concepts of subjects. Yes, we are discussing about the laws of motion. In last class, we were discussing about mechanics. Mechanics is the branch of physics that deals with the effect of force on bodies, and its types also we have discussed. And then a small introduction about force and then motion and Galileo concept we have discussed. And the important topic is about inertia. What is inertia? Inability of a body to change its state of rest or of uniform motion by itself is called inertia. And there are three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. And their example also we have discussed in the last class. Yes. In today's class we are going to talk about linear momentum. What is linear momentum? The impact of force is more if the velocity and the mass of body is more. To quantify the impact of force exactly, a new physical quantity known as linear momentum is defined. The linear momentum measures the impact of a force on a body. To understand about linear momentum with illustration, just we'll recall the ninth concept of mass and velocity in the last year class. What is mass? Mass is amount of matter present in a body. How much particle an object has, that is called as a mass. Mass is measured by kilogram. Mass is one of the physical quantity and the scalar quantity. Yes. Velocity. Next one. Velocity. Rate of change of displacement. Change of displacement with respect to time is called as a velocity, which is nothing but the speed of an object in a straight line. Is called as a velocity. Velocity is a vector quantity. It has magnitude and direction. Okay. Now we'll come to learn about linear momentum. Let us consider you are standing in a ground, open ground. That time one butterfly is coming to hit you. We know that butterfly has a very less mass, and another side one stone is coming to hit you, which has a more mass. Compared with both butterfly and then stone, which one create most impact on your body? Yeah, stone only. Why? What reason? Because it has a more mass. Butterfly has less mass. So due to high mass, the stone creating the most impact on your body. Hence I am saying that stone has a high linear momentum. Here linear momentum means, linear means straight line. Momentum is acting in a straight line. Okay. Consider the second one. The same person is standing in a place. One side stone and other side bullet. Stone and bullet are having the same mass and the same size. Stone is thrown by your friend and bullet is shooted with help of the gun. I said that bullet and stone has a same mass, but the bullet comes from the gun with maximum speed and maximum velocity, but stone comes with a very slow velocity only, very low velocity. So based on this, bullet only creates the most impact on our body, which means that bullet moving with greater velocity has a high momentum, high linear momentum compared with this stone, because stone velocity is very low. Okay. In this first illustration, due to the high mass, the stone possesses high momentum. In second illustration, due to high velocity, bullet has a high momentum. So, the object which is having high mass and high velocity, and when it is in motion, it creates a maximum impact, that is called as a momentum. So here momentum is called as a linear momentum because the type of all objects are moving in a straight line, hence it is considered as a linear momentum. So based on that illustration, we can define the linear momentum. So linear momentum measures the impact of force on a body. So whichever the bodies are having more mass and more velocity, it creates most impact of a force on a particular object. Okay. Now what is the definition for linear momentum? How to find out the momentum of an object? So for that, the product of mass and velocity of a moving body gives the magnitude of linear momentum. Here what is magnitude? Magnitude is nothing but its value, strength, that's all. So product of mass and velocity of a moving body gives a linear momentum. It acts in the direction of velocity of the object. That object is moving in what direction, in that direction only linear momentum also will act, which means that linear momentum possesses magnitude and direction, hence it is called as a vector quantity. So expression for finding linear momentum is mass into velocity. Here P denotes linear momentum, M denotes mass, V represents velocity. So P equal to M into V is the formula for calculating linear momentum of a moving object. It helps to measure magnitude of a force. With help of this formula, we can calculate the magnitude of the force. The unit of momentum in SI system is kilogram meter second power minus 1, and in CG system it is gram centimeter second power minus 1. Which means that in this given formula, here that mass measured by kilogram. So we written kilogram. Velocity is measured by meter second power minus 1. Hence we are writing that, multiplying mass and velocity, kilogram meter second power minus 1. It is considered as a SI unit for linear momentum. Okay, take a note of it. And we will go to the next topic. Yes, we are discussing about laws of motion. In that, at the time of introduction itself, I told that Newton derived 3 laws of motion. So in that first one, what is the Newton first law? So Newton first law is also called as a law of inertia. With help of Newton first law, we can find the definition of force. We can give the definition of force as well as inertia, which means that every body continues to be in its state of rest or state of motion along a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external force. Some examples are: the book kept on the table remains at rest only. Till what time? Till when? Until or unless another force acts on the textbook to move its position. So till that it will be remains in a same place only. It is the best example for Newton first law. I will repeat the statement again. An object remains in the same state of rest or uniform motion until or unless compelled by unbalanced force on it. Okay. In that, what is unbalanced force? Before discussing about unbalanced force, we will study about the concept of force. So we know that force is nothing but one type of push or pull activity of an object. Force is an external effort in the form of push or pull, which has some characteristics. What are the characteristics for that? You cannot see a force, but often you can see what it does. You can feel that. They usually act in pairs. They always act in certain direction. So that the figures represents the action of two forces. And movement. Forces are all around us. They affect our surrounding and us. We cannot see forces, but we can feel them or see their effects. So forces can change the speed of an object, change the shape of an object, change the direction of moving objects. How? For understanding that, we will discuss this with these pictures. Forces can make things speed up. Suppose if any one object is moving slowly, by action of force, that speed can be increased. Here, hit a tennis ball, its speed up. While hitting a tennis ball with help of bat, the ball can move very faster. Hence, the speed of the tennis ball is increased. At the same time, force brings the body in a slow. The parachute can make an object slow down because of air resistance. Forces can make things change direction. The direction of a body is changed due to action of force. Ball changes direction by hitting it with a bat. The direction of ball is changed. Forces can make things change shape. The shape of an object is changed by crushing the paper and breaking the glass. So etc. We can use it. Yeah, these are some important characteristics of the force. Next one, we are going to discuss about types of forces. What are the types of forces? Based on direction in which the forces act, they can be classified into two types. They are like parallel force and unlike parallel force. Like parallel force means two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction parallel to each other are called like parallel force. Consider this picture. In this car, there are two forces are acting, F1 and F2 force. Two forces are acting, may or may not equal forces, is acting towards the same direction. The two forces is used to push the car. So hence the car started moving in forward direction. That we can calculate the total force. The total force means net force. So F net represents that total force. So here two forces are also acting in the same direction. So that's why we are going to add the both values. So F net is equal to F1 and F2 because both the forces are also acting in the same direction. Here it is considered as a like parallel forces. Two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction parallel to each other are called as a like parallel force. It is called as a like parallel force. And see one more example. One stone is placed in the ground. There are two forces are acting on it. One is 5 Newton of force and other one is 10 Newton of force. Both also having different in magnitude value. Here Newton is nothing but a SI unit of force. Is used to measure the value of force. So 5 Newton and 10 Newton both also acting on the stone on the same direction. Hence these two forces are said to be like parallel force. Now what will be the total force? Net force that can be called by using the above formula. So total force is equal to F1 plus F2. What is F1? 5 Newton. What is F2? 10 Newton. Both also added on 15 Newton. At what direction this net force will be acting? So here by adding both values, then we are getting the value 15 Newton. So the same direction only resultant force also will be acting. So this is example for like parallel force. And second type is unlike parallel forces, which means that if two or more equal forces or unequal forces act along opposite directions parallel to each other, then they are called unlike parallel force. Look at this figure. In this car, there are two forces are acted. Is it in same direction? No. Both also acting in opposite direction. So F1 force is acting rightward direction, F2 force is acting leftward direction. So now there are two forces are acting on one object in the opposite direction with different magnitude or same magnitude. Hence the type of force are called as unlike parallel forces. Like parallel force means same direction, unlike parallel force means opposite direction. So how to calculate the total force F net? So here one force is taken as a positive, other force is taken as a negative, because it is direction is changed compared with the previous one. So F1 is acting rightward, now it is leftward. So leftward direction force is taken as a negative sign. So by adding this both, we can get it as a F1 minus F2. Here F1 is considered as a greater than F2 means we can write this formula. Suppose the value of F2 is greater than F1, we can use this one. The greater magnitude force minus smaller magnitude force. So F net is equal to F2 minus F1. So what is the total force direction? So total force is always directed along the greater force. How? Let us discuss the next example. Look this, one stone is kept on the ground. There are two persons are going to apply the unlike parallel forces, which means that one person applying 25 Newton force towards rightward and another person having more strength and he is applying the 55 Newton in a leftward direction. So in which direction stone will move? We have to apply the concept of total force. So 25 Newton is considered as a F1 and 55 Newton is considered as a F2. So here which one is greater? F2 is greater than F1. So we can calculate the total force by using the formula F total is equal to F2 minus F1, because 55 is greater than 25. So subtract both. So 55 minus 25, which is equal to 30 Newton. So in that 30 Newton is the resultant force or total force. So in what direction the stone will move? In a greater force direction. Which is greater force? F2. So what direction? Towards leftward direction. So in that direction only resultant force will be acting. So these are the best examples for understanding the unlike parallel force. Look at this one. Parallel equal forces are acting in opposite directions in the same line of action, which means that the force applied on the object F1 and F2 both also having the same magnitude value but acting in opposite direction, which means that F1 value and F2 value both also equal. Now we can calculate the total force F1 minus F2, which means that nothing but both are same force. Here also 10 Newton force, here also 10 Newton force. Now 10 minus 10 we can write it as a 0. What is the meaning for this 0 force here? Which means that by applying the two forces on one object in opposite direction with same magnitude value means that the object will never move. It will never move in any direction. Hence we are getting the total force as a 0. Example for balanced forces. The truck stays still because force applied by the two hands will be same but acting in a opposite direction. So this type of forces are called as a balanced forces, which means that if resultant force of all the forces acting on a body is equal to 0, then the body will be in equilibrium. Such forces are called as a balanced forces, which means that the object is not moving. Hence these two type of forces also balance each other. Hence it is called as a balanced forces. When we are standing on the ground, our body experiences gravitational force downward direction. At the same time, the floor produces a force on our body in opposite direction. That force and gravitational force both also example for the balanced force. That's why we are able to stand on the ground firmly. So this is also considered as one type of balanced forces. And another one is unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces mean if the resultant force is not equal to 0, then it causes motion of the body due to unbalanced forces. For example, drawing water from a well, force applied with a crowbar, forces on a weight balance, etc. Look at the example for unbalanced force here, tug of war. So this means that one person is applying the force on a rope with 50 newtons and another one man applying 30 newton force, both also acting in opposite direction. Here which is greater force? 50 newton is greater force. Hence that rope started moving, maximum force acted. So here the force applied by the two men is best example for unbalanced force. In this, that rope is moving towards greater magnitude force. Hence these two forces are called as unbalanced forces. Look at this. In this vehicle there are three forces are acting. Two forces are acting rightward direction having 4 Newton, and only one force is acting in a left side direction with 3 Newton only. Here which is greater magnitude? By adding these two, it is considered as a like parallel force. So 4 and 4, so totally 8 Newton is acting here. Here only 3 Newton force is acting. So hence that truck or vehicles automatically started moving towards rightward direction. Hence this is best example for the unbalanced forces. Today's class, that's all. So what were the topics we have discussed today? Linear momentum, Newton's first law, force, types of forces, in that like parallel force and unlike parallel force, and then we discussed about the balanced forces and unbalanced forces with suitable examples. And today I will be sending the study material for these all topics, and prepare thoroughly and then get ready for writing test on Friday. Do your test honestly and then get good marks. After writing the test, you have to bring your test paper with your parent signature to the school on school reopening day. Thank you students.